Someone is taking a while to load, but that's okay, guys. Here we are. It's the start of the grid, the quarterfinals, aka when the best of threes begin for the ZOTAC North America Cup. This is Rifkin. I'm today broadcasting with my friend Nova. It's funny here in the top right corner of the map, playing for FXO. It is none other than the Red Zerg Lucky.
And in the bottom left, his opponent playing as purple, playing for Clarity Gaming. It's going to be cSarovati.
A really skilled Protoss player, by the way. There's a lot of streamers I watch on a regular basis, and when they get cSarovati, it's kind of that groaning like, oh man, this guy. Not because he's bad, not because he cheeses, but because he's really freaking good. But I gotta say, you know what? No one's gonna put on as good of a show as I think cSaRovaty did earlier today versus FXOLucky. Not just because of the names, but his opening was really cool. And I think if he had just scouted the Spire earlier, it could have been a completely different game. But today, here in the quarterfinals, cSarovati, we're gonna see a completely different game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think cSarovati is up for that, and it's Daybreak after all. I mean, Daybreak plays out very funny in this matchup in the late game. If your opponent goes Swarm Hosts.
Funny like a clown, or funny haha?
Funny like... God damn it.
Fair enough, fair enough. No, Swarm Hosts, you're right, are incredibly difficult to deal with right now. They're not... I mean, like... The typical endgame composition is going to be Swarm Hosts with Vipers and a couple other things mixed in against like a Colossus Tempest Death Ball. But there's no good situation for either player when it comes to Swarm Hosts, because the Swarm Hosts, it's very difficult to advance forward. You're going to kill a lot, but you're going to be locked in position. Whereas the Protoss player, you can't really move out. The Colossus have to defend against waves and waves and waves of the Locusts.
Yeah, your only like form of attack is the War Prism, really. That's how you're gonna like shut things down and do a lot of damage.
That's a really good point with the new War Prism speed being live. That might, if this boils down to that on Daybreak, as it most likely will, the War Prism change might just be the difference between everything, really. It doesn't outrun Mutalisk, but I think it's if it's not the same, it's slightly slower than Corruptors.
Yeah, first it was like people go like Roach Hydra and then add in the Swarm Host, and then Vipers eventually. But people have been rolling also with like Corruptors, and the Corruptors are there to deal with air and also to deal with War Prisms a lot better. But now with the speed, the Corruptors won't shut down War Prisms that easy anymore. And yeah, you can perhaps draw them away from the Swarm Host, so perhaps you have an opportunity to kill them. So we'll see how things turn out. We don't even know if this game will go to the late game. It's a long way from there. But Daybreak, a very easy map for Protoss to get 3 bases. Same for Zerg. And
well, I want to point out, Lucky, last time we saw him play, he expanded very quickly, and it was only like he was locked back for so long, but once he got out, it was a matter of like 5 minutes before half the map was covered in creep. He had 5 bases. I mean, while it's easy for Protoss to get that third, I think Lucky, if he goes unattended, could very quickly snowball out of control.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, yeah, the macro opportunities on this map, it's like my favorite map, even on still day, even still today. Even if it's not in the map pool anymore, I still love playing on Daybreak. It's an awesome map, and yeah. Oh, might catch the Queen here. Nice pressure, by the way, with the double Zealot War Prism. Won't do too much, but might get a Queen.
He is gonna get a Queen.
No, he will save it.
He wants to get back in there with the Mothership Core. I can't believe that Queen's gonna live with 8 health on it. Jesus.
Yeah, Queen and Creeplands faster than a Zealot can run all day circles around the hatchery, which is a bit funny, but it's fine. Oh, can he almost shuts down the drone that's gonna make the 3rd base. Lucky wants to save it though, and a couple of speedlings are now running towards the natural, and 3 gates getting thrown down instantly.
Yeah, there's unfortunately no cannons behind them. A single sentry gonna do what it can. But what it can do is not a lot. It will deter them off though, so...
Yeah, second sentry joins. He's pretty safe against this. Mothership Core is gonna get confirmation on this 3rd base, just in case, so he does know that he's not gonna get all indoor just yet.
I'm a little shocked at just how active this Mothership Core is being, quite frankly. Left unattended, it will get the hatchery down to like half health without too much issue.
Yeah, but there's the Queen already waddling his way to take some pokes at his mothership.
Mothership horse should get away. It's not slow like an Overlord, but speaking of Overlords, it's one of the main should be about to pop. There we go, it does go down. But of course the map control is still definitely here for Lucky. I mean, right now cSarovati can't afford to push at all. Even if he makes like 7 centuries, a small push, well, he's making a lot of centuries actually. This...
Yeah, what is he planning? Does he have a robo-op? No.
No, without the... I mean, like, you can force... Like, okay, you force your way up the Zerg ramp, you place the pylon down in the main, and force field off the ramp, you're actually good to go. And I think that might be what he goes for here. Oh, but pulling back, doesn't want... Oh, there's nothing here. Oh, there we go. Warping the zone just in time. Already had to burn a force field, though. Not something he wants to do. Those force fields are very valuable when you have no army on the field.
Yeah, and this is gonna force a couple of links, but no, it's gonna be roaches instead. The probe is here, but the problem... Oh, that was close.
He has to live long enough to get the pylons up. They're so critical to this push.
Because yeah, and he has to defend them as well.
Actually, you know what? cSarovati, he's got enough to recall if necessary.
Yeah.
As long as the mothership core doesn't go down too early or he doesn't waste it on a time warp, he'll be a-okay.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, this third base doesn't have any drones yet, and Lucky keeps making units at this point, so
I like
he really
that too.
wants to push this.
Look at those force fields keeping the pylon alive.
Yeah, it's quite nice, but the pylon will fall eventually, but it did buy some time, and but look at the concave Lucky has set up. Nice force fields. Setting up most of the roaches. And this was good for...
it's weird to see sentries actually focus down the roaches like this to do that much damage, but it's just the numbers game right now.
Oh, it drops a bunch again.
Oh, some sick force fields. He needs one more though. Those Zerglings are going to get in, and actually some really nice sort of backup force fields.
Yeah, this was... It protects the sentries very well. He did lose a bunch though.
He's got enough to drop a time warp though, and still recall if he wants. He's just going to go for the recall, though.
Yeah, smart choice.
Checking the resources lost, I mean, it didn't work out too well for him. If he had knocked down that hatchery, it would have been a for sure win, ace in the hole type thing, but still, he got a lot of kills there. It wasn't a terrible engagement.
It wasn't terrible, but it did lose a lot of sentries. A lot of gas was invested in that push, and a lot of gas could have been used if he recalled earlier, and perhaps had a robo with a couple of immortals or Colossus in this scenario behind it.
I don't know, I think if he was more aware of the energy on his mothership core, we would have seen a time warp coupled with those force fields, and it was because the links got through that one small hole that became problematic. But speaking of being problematic, these sentries and everything's out of position, wildly badly so. cSarovati getting the full surround. Oh no, he's gonna lose these sentries, and that's critical.
Yeah, and this could already be game over. If Poison Overcharge goes down, I don't think he can engage in this, but he can wait. But what can a Protoss really do? He has gateways finishing up though.
And Colossus now in the field. I mean, he's fine for a defensive point of view for the time being, but he can't take a third, and he needs to take a third at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he can take a third in sometime soon. He's going to be stuck on 2 bases for a while because he doesn't have the safety of the sentries. He only has 2 sentries with really low energy, and it's going to make it so problematic. If Lucky can... Lucky's just dictating the pace of the game. He's taking a 4th even before his opponent takes a 3rd, and that's always a bit of an issue.
Well, the small upside is the fact that Protoss are one of those races. They can play off 2 bases for a while. You lock a Terran into 2 base, it's actually going to really hurt them, but a Protoss player can comfortably play off 2. Now, obviously, you prefer to have 3 every time you can, but we'll see how this plays out. He's going to start pushing across the field, and again, I mean, Lucky's he's actually behind on army supply pretty severely. Trying to bust in through the main here, a pylon going down. The Colossus is actually wildly out of position. Zealots warping in to try and deal with this. A nice force field gets thrown down. He's going to hold this. That could have been really badly, but I mean, like, look at the reactions he made.
Yeah, but the army comes back, and that's exactly what he needs. Because in the meanwhile, this gave him time to make a ton of Middle Eastern Zerglings. Look at the stream of units that come over here. And by the time he arrives in the natural, all these spines will be finished as well.
But he's not going to go for the natural. He just needs to gut the 3rd, kill the 4th, recall home. I mean, this is not a bad situation for cSarovati as long as he doesn't lose too much to the Mutalisks. If he waits too long to recall, I mean, it's only like 7 Mutalisks or something.
Yeah, but Lucky knows he's going to do that, and he's just going to... He just evacuated his 3rd, and he's going to go for the base race.
Well, base race is perfectly okay. Lings and Mutos are not very quick when compared to Colossus and Stalkers, but we'll have to see. Again, he can always recall. He's probably going to get Hatcher and recall. Wait for it, wait for it. Pumping up, there we go.
So?
Popping off the recall, there we go, into the main.
Well,
Zealots take out the 4th at the same time as well. I mean, this was not
Oh.
great. He lost a lot of probes behind this, but he also saved a lot of probes behind this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to turn out as good as it did. But he went for a double Stargate, and I don't think he can really support this.
I want to point out, cSarovati has not actually been able to kill a single drone this game. That is so weird.
Well, or that's really, really good play from Lucky.
Yeah,
He's
it's his
been so
perfect
careful with
reaction
them.
time.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just so weird to consider at this point. A Protoss player who's got Colossus on the field, who has killed 2 hatcheries, has not been able to secure a drone kill. Not because he's playing badly, mind you. It's just it's cool that that's the level of control Lucky has. But now coming
it's
into the
pretty
main
sick.
once again, there's some stalkers here. Photon Overcharge is not available.
Yeah, and just a couple of Stalkers won't be enough. This is a ton of Mutalisks. This is 16 Mutas.
But we
Not
get
enough to engage this straight up though.
yeah, and there's 2 Phoenixes at a time being created right now. So I mean, the right steps are being made by cSarovati. But I do want to stress to everybody before we get too caught up in this. This is only game 1 in a best of 3. There is still plenty of more action, and this has been action-packed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, cSarovati is just holding on, but it's gonna be difficult. I mean, again, Mutaling from Lucky, and yeah,
I like that he didn't over-dedicate on Colossus at this point either. I mean, he made 1, and it's been more than enough. Well, he had 2 rather, but 1 of course was
yeah, he
killed.
had.
But
Yeah.
it's been more than enough to hold this time and time again against these Ling waves. It's the Mutalisks that are the problem, and cSarovati recognizes that. It's really easy to make the wrong composition to respond to what FXOLucky has on the field, but Corruptors
Yeah,
even...
it's easy to say like, oh, I got Stalkers, I'm fine. Which is a wrong assumption to make against Mutas.
Oh, he's gonna fly right into the Mutalisk ball.
Oh, no.
Actually,
Yeah,
gonna fly
looks like
through the
he's-
Mutalisk ball. Did he even lose a Phoenix there?
High 5. Yeah, he lost 1 Phoenix.
Oh, another. Well, he just lost another. The poor reinforcement. Hey guys, I'm here. Oh.
And we might lose another, yeah, 3 Phoenixes, and there goes a 4th. So many.
really
We could have had
unfortunate
8
feats.
Phoenix instead of 4. This is a bit.
He needs
well,
the
instead of
ball
5.
up. Yeah, like moving across the field. Like he wanted to go lift some drones up,
Yeah.
but I mean, he really just needs the ball up right now.
Yeah, there's a number of. There's like a set number for each amount of mutas that you can really keep in mind, that you need that much Phoenixes with range to deal with this, with that, but I don't think he can really afford range. He's only just getting his fleet beacon, and he's trying to establish the 3rd, but oh, that's actually a lot of cannons. 4 cannons?
It's a good response, though. Really, I mean,
Yeah, I like it.
Well, we consider what happened earlier because there were no cannons against
Yeah,
what was
true.
that SCA-Lucky? Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
just needs to play extremely defensive with these Phoenixes.
Well, defensive
But-
not where he's going to be. He needs to be back in the main right now. Only a single cannon down is not going to hold this.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard. I mean, with this amount of corruptors, it's very hard to engage in anything with Phoenix. You need the Anion Pulse Crystal to really engage these corruptors.
Oh, the Stalker gets... Or,
Efficiently.
sorry, the Colossus goes down, rather, not the Stalker. Now, the Guardian Shield, of course, does affect air units. A lot of people don't actually realize that, so it's going to be really nice for engaging this. But these 4 cannons, you talked about them being an over-dedication. They just stop these Lings dead in their tracks. Same with the Zella Warpin, allowing cSarovati to focus in the main. And focus he does, as he is relentlessly trying to take down these Mutalisks, but the Corruptors are a little bit too good for these 4 Phoenixes.
Yeah, I was more surprised he could afford the cannons, but this is looking very grim. All these Phoenix are so low, and yeah,
GG.
there we go. GG.
Well, that's only game 1, folks.